champions are back.
Diving in. Diving in. Diving in. Diving in.
What do you think about them?
Diving in. Diving in.
Glory.
Diving in. Diving in.
Glory.
Diving in.
Glory.
Harshlik, welcome to Diving for Glory. Been up on my Deutsch. Word up, word up. Welcome back to Diving for Glory, Champions League, episode 2. This is not part of our normal schedule. We started this year where we will be doing every week of Champions League. Quick little roundup. We're still going to give you a back four, give you the top games, and then give you our thoughts and results on all the other games. This week we're going to look at Barcelona visiting Wembley. We're going to look at Real Madrid out there in Mother Russia, and then we're going to holler at Bayern hosting our homies from Amsterdam, and then finally it shall be that other team hosting that other team. Word up. Diving for Glory, man. We post every Monday on our regular episodes. These will be coming out every Thursday. Please note, next week we'll be posting on Tuesday before the international break. Yes, there is another international break, damn it. Diving for Glory at Diving for Glory on Facebook, at Twitter. Follow, hashtag, subscribe, like, retweet, do all that, man. Hit up iTunes, rate us 5-star. Sir Solomon, what up?
What's good?
I'm hyped. This is a dope-ass round of games.
Yeah, man. Refreshed after watching a good trip to London.
Yeah. Let's go, man. Just a cup, Jersey Tuck, Boost Lace, Diving for Glory. Let's go. Yeah, all right. We're going to get you started with some Tuesday games and, man, some upsets, some interesting results here. And I think one of the biggest upsets of this round is definitely going to be CSKA Moscow beating Real Madrid 1-0.
That's not the biggest upset.
Well, I said could be.
The biggest upset is 10-man CSKA Moscow beating Real Madrid 1-0.
Yeah, but 10-man, like 95th minute, man.
Understood. But check this out. Igor Akinfeev has never managed to get a Champions League clean sheet.
What?
As a goalkeeper, he's played more than 50.
Wow. Damn.
He met
That's amazing.
Real Madrid.
So how does this happen? This is just...
I don't know, but they took 26 shots and only 4 of them were on target.
That's pretty sad.
And then they also tried to pass the ball, I think, out of the field, basically. They had 776 fucking passes, dude. Like, you should make more than 4 shots on target if you pass the ball 776 times.
So they talked about Lopetegui.
Told you I'd remember his name and he's good. And I don't need to so far.
They talked about his philosophy being more in line with like the national Spain team / Barcelona with the possession based.
You know, what's funny about the national team, the style that they were playing at the time of dominance was due to Barcelona's real dominance, and like Xavi and Iniesta in particular, and also like when you add in David Villa and all these guys, that was the style. But it was always looked at suspiciously, especially in the Madrid circles, because in Madrid, all Madrid teams are generally attack, very vertically minded teams, and that used to be at the time of like the late 80s, early 90s with Emilio Butragueño and all these people, even Raúl's time. Spain was used to playing a very direct style of football. And so the Barca model was always looked at kind of skeptically by the Madrid fans, you know?
Yep.
And now there's a Madrid coach who is clearly tiki-taka all the motherfucking way. Like, trying to outpass people, and they forgot one aspect of tiki-taka is that it's very boring if
Now-
you don't have a Ronaldo or a Messi at the end of it.
For sure. And, let's be straight. Like, this is Real Madrid. You're looking at a loss, a draw, and a loss. Like, you don't get very long in this job, man. You'll be gone by November.
Dude, but on all fairness, CSKA has a guy called Fedor on their team. So sometimes Fedor will kick your ass.
Oh, they got a dude named Igor as well.
Igor, Fedor, a Chernov. they can fight. Anyways, even though they had 73% possession, this has been a problem, and the goal was due to a Toni Kroos cross-field pass he was trying to connect with, I think, Nacho, but it never connected, and it just, Mr. Vlasic just yoinked it, and they could never recover because this Casemiro and Toni Kroos, Dani Ceballos midfield, I don't know. Toni Kroos, first of all, is having a really iffy start to the season.
Mm-hmm.
And put that in line with Mr. Luka Modric, who's also going through the same thing because he's been partying like he won the fucking World Cup. So it's been an interesting start, but a non-defensive team that is not known for just getting a bunch of shutouts, playing a three-back, football shouldn't be able to stop Madrid for even hitting more than 4 shots on target, let alone scoring. So, like you were saying, Lopetegui, not only are you expected to win these games, you're expected to win them big, to prove to everybody that you won the Ronaldo deal. Like, that's the move right now. Like, it's not a small team. This is an ego-driven Fiorentino Perez kind of team. Like, you're not going to make him look bad after selling Ronaldo.
I don't want to go and delve into too many off-field things here, but especially when you talk about winning the Ronaldo deal, like this story that's this accusation against him was out in 2017 when he was still with Madrid, and you wonder how much that could have motivated them to be like, all right, 100 mil piece,
Yeah. I could see his motivations for fucking leaving.
Absolutely.
It was getting to a case where like Fiorentino Perez and him were not talking, and they would always give credit to others, but like. Just the fact that Luka Modric even won the Player of the Year, like when you're the best player in the world this year, but you were the second best player on your team. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you managed it. You're a very talented person, but I understand
the World Cup run. The World Cup run. This is just the World Cup run.
Then give it to a French guy.
No, I agree.
Like, they won the World Cup, so if you're gonna go that way, then give it to a French guy.
Give it to Varane.
Dude, I think Varane is
Champions
deserving.
League.
They just never give defenders
Yeah.
any awards.
Champions
But
League and a World
especially
Cup.
if fucking Fabio Cannavaro won it in 2006 when Italy won, when he was like the 4th best player on the team. I think that Rafael Varane, like, he's France's captain.
Yeah.
And he's spectacular, and he balances out Sergio Ramos's crazy ass at Real Madrid. He's deserving of, I think, in center backs, I don't know him, Virgil van Dijk, but Virgil van Dijk doesn't know how to use his feet that well. So how many players would you rather have than Rafael Varane?
Oh, agree.
Right?
I agree. Oh, yeah. All
Right.
day. So
Except when Toni Kroos sets up the opponents, then he can't do shit.
Toni Kroos from which I'm going to harp on the statistical thing a little later, but like statistically solid season, but I think you're right, man. From the eye test, it's just not.
A couple of games ago when they had the 0-0 with Athletic Bilbao, first half, Luka Modric was having a bad game, but they were playing Toni Kroos as a holding midfielder, and they were pressuring the shit out of him. And until they brought in Dani Ceballos, again, the Athletic Madrid game, until they brought in Dani Ceballos to take some of the pressure off him, Toni Kroos is good orchestrating the play for deep, but like if he all of a sudden becomes your guy that has to hold the ball and make a lot of big decisions, he likes to do that further up the field. He takes the gamble, and sometimes you miss it, CSKA
sit at the top of this group. Do you still expect Real Madrid to win the group?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Roma, CSK, and
No, actually, I don't. I
Victoria
still
Pleasant.
expect. I still expect Real Madrid to advance. I don't expect them to
win the group.
I think that Roma is in really good form, and if they take care of some,
they finally got it up.
Okay.
Yeah, they got excited
took a
for the. But no, Roma's been on fire the past few games, man. A lot of goals.
Yeah, a lot of back heels.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, they take the Real Madrid takes that L. Also on that Tuesday, another European powerhouse has a questionable result, and that is Bayern Munich visiting Ajax, and they get the draw here. Ajax and Bayern top of this group.
Yeah, but it was a Bayern home game in which they had the lead.
Yep.
This has to be said. They had the lead within 4 minutes. Mats Hummels scored off of Arjen Robben pass. They did the little jumpy celebration like NBA players and shit. And then they fucking let him back in, Dusan Tadic, who... Tadic. He tapped Tadic on that assist.
Yeah.
But he, ex of Southampton, has been their captain and has really been leading the line. Like, you see him as a striker on some of the sites and stuff, but he's pretty much a false nine and he's all over the place. Sometimes they put him out on the wings. Him and Hakim Ziyech are fucking killing it. In the back, they have Daley Blind doing his thing.
Blind. Yes.
It's just a nicely balanced team, and it's interesting to watch.
Yeah, so again, disappointing result for major European, powerhouse here that, is looking quite old. They still started Arjen Robben, Thomas Müller, Frank Ribery, and then 30-year-old Robert Lewandowski.
And they lost to the team without their best player.
Yep.
Because Frankie de Jong did not get to play this game.
So considering, and we'll touch on the Dortmund result again, like you have to imagine that at this stage in the game, Dortmund is a real threat for the league with the way that Bayern's playing and the injuries that they're looking at. What can Bayern hope from the Champions League this year?
I don't think that Bayern are going to go far. They are going to go far-ish, but I don't think they're going to be a contender because if you noticed anything about this week's games is how fast they were. And in midfield and in defense, Bayern is a very slow team. If you take out David Alaba and Joshua Kimmich, like Mats Hummels, Jerome Boateng, Javi Martinez, Thomas Muller, Frank Ribery, Arjen Robben. Like, this is not Arjen Robben and Frank Ribery got some speed, but they're like 37 and 35. Robert Lewandowski hasn't wanted to be there for like 2 years now.
Yep.
Like, at some point, they should have just cashed out on him and gone to a different direction. And
they're very concerned. I feel like upholding their image with that Lewandowski thing. Like we're not selling him to Real. We're not a selling team.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. Like once you commit to that, you have to stick to it. So do your thing.
Yep.
But they need somewhat of a revolution. Like that team is too old and too predictable. Like that's the thing. Yep. Even Barca with the tiki-taka, like you could only dominate playing one starting 11 for so long. Like David Alaba, used to be out of this world. Now he's coming down to ordinary. Mm-hmm. Joshua Kimmich, he's definitely a step back from Philippe Lahm. Mm-hmm. And you see the erosion of talent. And in this game, James Rodriguez came in after 60 minutes, and I would have thought that by now he would have been a very big focus of that team and the way he finished the last season, second half and everything. But
man, new coach,
then there's the issue of older players already showing signs of dissent against the new coach. Like Arjen Robben was subbed out in a game a couple of games ago, and he was not looking happy.
They're gonna.
You need a little bit of it's getting stale in that locker room.
Absolutely. It is also worth noting that statistically Ajax held their own in this game. This is not a game like the CSKA game where they just sat back and absorbed it all. They
did what they shots on target. Yeah,
they did what they could do to go toe to toe here.
They both had 15 shots. Bayern had 4 on target, and Ajax had 7. You know what I'm saying? Their passing accuracy wasn't bad. It was like at 78%. Like, they stayed in it. But the most important thing to me was that they kept Bayern Munich to 2 big chances the whole game.
I'm feeling like there's a risk here that they won't make it out this group. There's at least a chance. And it's a group they should come out of. You would say, looking at the names: Ajax, Benfica, and AEK from Greece.
Yeah, AEK I think is gonna get some shit taken out on them next week.
Whenever
they fucking see Bayern. But I think that Benfica too is got a lot of talent. It's nice. They lost to Bayern Munich in the first game, but they've got that out of the way. So if they put a run together, Bayern drop a couple more points, this could get really, like, you've already given the, what do you call it? You're now just a reactor. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're not in control of your destiny.
Yep. Tough out there. All right, moving along, we're going to go to an amazing match. I felt like, at least I'm just a viewer, even from a neutral standpoint. Tottenham hosting Barcelona at Wembley. Barca make their return to Wembley, where they last were seen winning the Champions League.
Home game. The last time Barca is used to coming to Wembley, or they call it La Casa Anglaise. But they like to go there in the spring, when the grass is green and everything. This facsimile of Wembley looked like a fucking farm. Like, if it's a final, the Queen comes there, or, Prince so-and-so.
Yeah.
But it looked like shit, but Barca looked awesome. Barca were nice, but their defensive issues are still there.
Because Semedo... let's start from the tippy.
Let's start from the top.
I mean, let's look at the...
I like the lineup. I like that Arthur got to play.
Oh, yeah.
I like that Arthur got to play.
With like the sets, like basically almost their top 11.
Yeah.
So he's not out there, like you said, the last game with Vidal and
exactly.
unfamiliar
He
players.
had Busquets in, Rakitic in, and Arthur, and then they moved Coutinho up and sat Dembele, which I thought is actually
awesome.
good. It's actually good. And Philippe Coutinho had a really, 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 really good game. Like, if he wasn't on Messi's team, like, he was player of the game kind of material.
Yep.
And
they got it cracking early with crazy Messi pass. The pass.
The through pass, he just pressed triangle on the controller.
That's like triangle and
then
the R trigger.
And then the problem was that the opponent pressed triangle and brought his goalkeeper out. And then Hugo. So you go the fuck out of here.
I've been wanting to bring this up since watching it. Like overall, and my Spurs informant has been telling me for at least a couple years now
that they're due for a Spursy.
Oh man, well that's a
they've been Spursying left and right, but okay.
But Hugo is basically
bad with his feet and bad decision maker.
Been concussed, for he hasn't been the top goalkeeper that he was at one point in at least 2 to 3 years.
I agree. And also, his style of football is also outdated. Hugo Lloris at his best is just a reaction kind of saving goalkeeper.
Yep.
And now a lot of coaches, his own included, build from the back, and you want them to have foot skills. And every time you pass to Hugo Lloris, it's like the old English goalkeepers. He just gets confused. The World Cup.
Yeah. I think his decision making looks mad questionable too, to the point of him rushing out on this. I mean, I watched it a couple times to see if I could understand. Like, okay, I mean, you see that,
I could understand a few steps and then go back.
But there was a couple other defenders there.
And then I could understand and make a couple of steps out and then run back. But he wasn't all in.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Ederson did that shit too in the fucking City game. And I'd rather you stayed at your goal and the guy came closer and took a wicked goal to beat you than if you run out, you better get that fucking ball.
Yep. Absolutely. So that just gave a wide open. That was out on Jordi Alba, and then Alba to Coutinho for that assist for the goal. Coutinho's
still cooler than a cold.
Yeah.
Polar bear's toenails on that shit.
So that's how it gets cracking, and then Barca opened them up again.
Yeah, Messi wanted some.
Yeah. But that wasn't.
But
Messi.
it was a
that
team.
was the Rakitic goal.
Oh, my bad.
But that was also from a Messi pass into Suarez.
Yeah, like it was complete team play on 3 of the goals, like where like 4, 5, 6 players were part of the play.
Yeah.
And the Coutinho, he tried to volley it.
Yeah.
He shanked the volley and in the same move volleyed an assist.
It was sick.
And Rakitic, the form, like that was one of the best. And then it comes off the fucking post.
Off the post, just power.
I was like,
It was sick. So at this point, you're
gas
thinking,
coming out of Wembley.
yeah, and at this point you're thinking the route is on though, right? Like you're looking at like, oh man, they're about to fucking smash Spurs, and then right it goes 2-0 to half.
Dude, they were playing decent. To be honest with you, the 2-1, Harry Kane just murked Nelson Semedo.
And
Dude was on the ground. Remember Hot Sauce?
Yeah,
Them cats. Like, he put it on Nelson Semedo to where, I don't know if he's woken up yet. He's still on the ground, probably.
Yeah, dude.
Like, rest in peace, Nelson. Joining Mandela in being a dead Nelson.
But beautiful goal by Kane. And it's 2-1 at this point, and you're like, damn, like it looked like up to this point that they had no business being on the field with Barcelona, and it's still a game.
Yeah, and Barca's defense looked shaky once they fucking got. I think it's Piqué needs to stop thinking that his solution for getting scored on is to go score on somebody. This is not a pickup game.
I know
you have
like,
a set position.
I need to move to the 9 position now.
Yeah, like
Get back there, Luis.
Get your back ass back in goal.
So the point I wanted to bring up here at this point, we haven't really talked about it because we've been giving Barca effusive praise here, is the Spurs lineup.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Barca scored 4 minutes after they went to 2-1. By the way.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but that's why I wanted to kind of bring it up because the obviously a few things here. Spurs are hella limited because they had a lot of injuries, a lot of players out, key players that probably would have played in this game. They also didn't sign anybody. If you haven't heard, they didn't sign anybody this summer, so they're also limited on options. And the other point that I wanted to bring up before I let you get it is the statistic. When you look at statistics and then you watch the game, I'm floored by Davinson Sanchez's statistics because he looked totally out of his league in this game, and I was super disappointed with him almost on every level. He made a couple good clearances, but it was bad back passes. It was errant passes out of bounds. It was just comical defending, but that went for the whole lineup here. When you're talking about,
I agree with that, but like the
Winks
thing about
and
Davinson
Wanyama
Sanchez in this particular game was that he, like, when a quarterback makes the completion, but his receiver gets broken. Like he throws in double coverage and the guy gets like smashed. Like that's kind of what he was doing. He put Hugo Lloris and Toby Alderweireld in a lot of bad positions. It got to them, but like they took the error. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
their
look
ratings
at their
were awful.
numbers are terrible, but like his passes led to some of their numbers.
it's like connect the dots.
I was looking at it. I was like, but the thing I would like to say is that even though they had a lot of injuries, I think that this was a good team that they put out. Like, if you're going to have a chance in this game,
Yeah.
I would rather play with Lucas Moura, Eric Lamela, Heung-min Son behind Harry Kane
Agreed.
than to have Dele Alli back there for this particular game.
Yep.
Most of the time I wouldn't, but and also when he has Dele Alli, because he has so much confidence in him, he wouldn't play all 3 of these guys. So it would look like a more defensive team.
Yep.
So the injuries, Vertonghen really hurt them. But the others...
No Eriksson. I gotta have Eriksson in this
Yeah,
game.
in this game, Eriksson was a big hit, but I don't think that not having Delhi was the worst thing to happen to them.
True,
and I think they need to work out. To me, I think that he'd be very effective if actually they moved him. If Pochettino wasn't so defensive minded, you'd move him further back and kind of make him more box to box, like what Harry Winks is doing, except he's more talented than Harry Winks. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So, we'll see.
So, as you mentioned, It's 3-1. Barcelona come back 4 minutes later. Messi was
He wanted it. He wanted
terror in this game, dude.
Like I remember the days when they used to talk about how Messi never ever fucking scored against English teams, and now he does it at will. Like he loves playing in fucking Wembley. I think he might have English heritage because he has a big respect for it. Every time he goes there, he scores at least 1 goal. You know what I'm saying? This time he had 2. And they were both assisted with a Luis Suarez step over. Like Jordi Alba coming off the left looks beautiful now that like.
Yo, and I'm sorry, I misspoke there. Like that was that first Messi goal put Barcelona up 3-1.
Yes. And then Eric Lamela comes in a little later, and like about 10 minutes later, and puts it up to 3-2.
Yeah. With the deflection, but still.
Yes.
And then you're still like, damn. Like Barca, I feel like Barca's been dominating this game, and it's still a game.
Yeah, I had my like little nervous moment. I was like, this way you fucking should close it down. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
But how angry can we get when Samuel Umtiti's not playing? And you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I was kind of worried about it because I would rather have what's his name, Sergio Roberto and Samuel Umtiti as opposed to the 2 that we had in the game. But Lionel Messi took it upon himself, and the team as an offense made like an intricate pass that had like more than like 10 plays in the move. 10 passes in the play. Yeah. And it ended up with a Lionel Messi basically layup at the end of it.
I wanted to also bring up that after they were down 3-1, like, and this is the options available to Poch. He brought in Sissoko. He took Son off and brought in Sissoko. Like that, I don't know. So I wanted to ask that because I looked at their subs, and it's not like they had a lot of depth there. Yeah. So Sissoko almost has to play. Do you not feel, and I'm just asking, of course, hindsight's 2020, maybe Sissoko could have started in this game and you brought Son on at 60?
No.
Why not?
I would like my more talented player to get as much time on the field as possible.
Why doesn't Son play 90 then? Huh? Why doesn't Son play 90 in this scenario then? Fuck it.
I would. I'm not. Absolutely on that. That I would go with. Yeah. But as far as like, I don't have any respect for Sissoko.
Nobody does.
Yeah, but like he came in and played 25 minutes, and like if you're gonna take out Son right then, like that's the time when you just bring in fucking Llorente and just play with the 2 fucking strikers and see what happens. They're already down 3-1. Like give a fuck.
Yeah. A lot of questionable individual performances around here.
But Son didn't really have a good game either.
No, neither did Lucas. Lucas was a ghost.
Lucas has had a bad 3rd game now.
In a row.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago where I said if it was Sir Alex, he'd already have been benched before he lost his form. And he's still down there doing his thing. Okay, but I don't know.
So Messi finishes them off with the 4th goal, which was
fantastic.
And it was at the end of like
fantastic.
He should have had 2 other goals that hit the post when he just broke them down.
He has already hit the post and crossbar, basically the woodwork, like 10 times this season.
Dude.
Like more than some leagues.
He was, right? Like he has the freedom to be anywhere on the field. He was picking the ball up in the back. He was attacking from the wings. He was stout on defense. Like he was just fucking in it and like active and it's funny because I don't know. Like it's so obvious that he's really motivated for Champions League this year.
You saw the preseason when he did the speech as captain to the fans, and that's what he was saying. He was saying, "We had a good season, but I'm not happy."
Like, fuck La Liga.
Basically,
these motherfuckers got 3 in a row over here. We got to end that shit.
Yeah,
and we need to get it.
Yeah. He's like, obviously nobody else can beat these fucks. And like over the course of this run, Barca's the only team that's dominant against Real Madrid, except we never beat them. So he's like, I guess we got to go to the end this time.
Yep, no doubt. So that puts Barcelona and Inter alone. We'll talk about Inter in a minute. They're at the top of the table. Tottenham do not have a point yet. Woo! Moving along.
Dude, Arthur, the way he holds the ball and like uses his body to spin and turn and maintain the ball, I was really, really appreciating that.
He's short and like stout though.
Yeah, like, he's not getting around that. Like, and he just like has this stance where you're not gonna get around him, and I was really appreciating that.
Yep, look good. Yeah, let's move along. Oh yeah, that match I couldn't quite remember earlier. Although that Napoli Liverpool, that's right, Liverpool was just so abject I couldn't even remember that they played. Anyway, man, amazing ending here.
Another blue team, another loss.
It's tough out there.
Yeah. Liverpool did not show up. Like from a tactical, from any other perspective, it's really difficult to analyze this game because they just did not show up.
I need to be honest here because my emotions are going to betray me because this is the first time I looked at the stats for this game. Holy shit.
The part where they have 0 shots on target?
4?
Total.
4 total shots?
Total shots.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Let me look at this lineup, man.
Yeah. Out of which one, like the 3 were off target and only 1 was blocked.
Wow, dude.
You know what I'm saying? They had 1 corner kick.
Wow. That's awful.
1 offside.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? As many offsides and corner kicks as yellow cards were used.
Wow. That's...
All 4 of their shots came from outside the box.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa. What the hell?
Napoli had more than 150 passes more than Liverpool.
What the hell happened here, man? We've been talking about...
At 86, at a higher percentage of passing. Napoli had 676 passes at 86%. Liverpool had 512 passes at 80%. So they passed more than them and more accurately than them. They had Liverpool in the... Can I give you crossing stats? I'm sorry. Today we have to go into stats, all right? They had 11 crosses. You know how many they had accurate crosses? 0.
0. Wow.
For 0%. That's an easy calculation. Whereas Napoli had 19 crosses, out of which 7 were successful.
Wow, dude. 0 for 11.
You know? Successful dribbles. Like, they were dispossessed 9 times. It was ridiculous. Like, they didn't show up.
They didn't show up.
Unlucky. I have to say it's unlucky that Naby Keita gets a back injury early in the game. 19th minute, he's out of the game, and they had to bring in Jordan Henderson, which this Jordan Henderson, James Milner, Jorginho Wijnaldum threesome in midfield has been playing too much together and been exposed as being ineffective, namely last week. Like, literally 4 days ago.
Man, I'm kind of...
And so we end up with that, and Napoli is... So, like, they missed so much, and, like, their last, like, this one time Milik made a shot and Alisson saved it, but at the same time Insigne was, like, slightly ahead of him. He could have just made a through pass and it would have been a tap in, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, those kind of moves. So, this scoreline, a 1-0 loss to Liverpool, to Napoli, is a flattering scoreline to Liverpool like a motherfucker.
And
they were never in this game. Ever.
And we've been talking about Napoli, like, right? Like, they didn't get better. Like, last year they looked potent in Champions League, even though they didn't make it out of the group stage.
They weren't particularly good. They were just better than Liverpool.
Yeah. Wow.
This was
by
like,
head and shoulders.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you is they're head and shoulders better than Liverpool in a game that they did not play particularly that well. They just never got tested because Liverpool never really did anything.
Wow.
Mohamed Salah, I think he's like this season it's like Mubarak Salah or something, his brother that's coming to play, because this guy is not Mo Salah that people are singing songs about. Sadio Mane, like, he runs all over the place. He doesn't get rotated, but he's being less and less effective. I would sit him for a couple of days, maybe play the boy that fucking saved them in the fucking weekend, Daniel Sturridge, and take out him.
Who came on in the 89th minute.
Exactly. Or Shaqiri, who also had a good game earlier and never came on at all for this game.
Yep.
So, if you're going to put out the same thing and just hope that today is their day, then I don't see growth in your team, youth.
All of a sudden, I mean, this is how it works, right? From a week-to-week thing. I used to follow NFL. Game. Yeah. I mean, they show up and trounce City this weekend, and all's back to normal. Amazing. Still, when it's all said and done, that a team that everybody's looking at and the way they look at Liverpool would show up and put in an abject performance such as this.
They've been overdue. Every team has abject performances, and Liverpool has actually been performing for their coach, even in losses, for a long period of time. And you're going to have a bad game, and it's kind of nice that they all had it at the same time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? But before we go further, I would really like to say Trent Alexander-Arnold had a terrible game in this one, but Joe Gomez is really, really growing into a very good central defender.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He's been on it this year.
I like when you get like a big superstar and then there's the young guy and like he works hard and moves up to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like that's always impressive.
The self-proclaimed one of the best defenders in the world, Dejan Lovren, has been relegated to the bench.
Yeah, I mean, he's defending that chair very well.
Napoli at the top of that group. That looks to be an exciting group here, man. Napoli, PSG, Liverpool, and Red Star.
Yeah, Red Star is just a nice destination. But yeah, this put a serious dent in Liverpool's ambitions, man. Like, especially, PSG already got the 3 points that they lost to Liverpool. So now you're going to go to Belgrade, and English fans don't act right, so there's probably going to be some sort of fuckery going on there. Mm-hmm. Now we have a lot of pressure. But just the Champions League. Like, we've just said this about Ajax. We just said this about Real Madrid. Like, this is the best of the best. Like, even the shit teams are really, really, really good.
Are really good. And I think,
except young boys. They need to grow up.
But, you look at this, it also puts into perspective the unfortunately, the Real Madrid domination of this tournament, because it's so hard to win, because it takes so much luck.
Yeah.
It takes so much luck. You need a lot of shit to break your way, man.
And that is what is impressive about the fact that they got so many good draws.
Yeah.
Like, their opponents over the last 3 years, not Liverpool last year as much, because like a lot of teams did damage to each other, but like the opponents will have played a tougher road to the final, which you need. Like you said, it's luck. So
yeah, a lot of luck involved.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the midfield and cover the rest of these games. I'm getting quicker at that, man.
Yeah.
Whoa. Word up.
So quicker.
All right. Started off. Now we're doing chronological order here. And a game we could have covered in the top four, which ended up being pretty good per Pep Guardiola, may I mention. Hoffenheim hosting Hoffenheim hosting Manchester City, 2-1 City here.
Yeah. City actually 2-1 late. David Silva saves them. Hoffenheim, I have to say, you made a good call. Like, Julian Nagelsmann had them ready to play, and they came to ball. They really gave them a game, and City looked out of ideas for large parts of the game.
Yeah, see, so they got hit up in the first minute goal. So of course now, which is good. You always say it's good that City gets hit up early, because now
you actually gotta make the play as opposed to just be given to you.
Yep, but some stealth work by David Silva was amazing in this game. Aguero amazing again, and Silva finished them off in the 90th minute. It looked like it was going to be a draw, but again, I'm looking at statistics. I mean, they're saying no counterattacks for Hoffenheim. I just can't imagine, because I always say, man, since I've been a City fan, defending at the back when they get hit up looks like Three Stooges. It's like people running around in every direction. They don't know what to do. Please kick the ball out. I can't kick the ball. And I mean, and with that type of defending and that type of style, and as you mentioned, Pep style, that's always been the Achilles. It makes it difficult to win a competition like Champions League. Yeah,
I don't like looking at the current team. They could do it, like I said, depending on the draw. But like in the mid to late 90s, before Manchester United took that surprising 1999 Champions League, English teams were actually suffering big time in the league. And it seems like this current Man City team doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, as they would say, for the Champions League. Sergio Aguero is very is an average guy when it's a Champions League. He's a Superman in the Premier League. David Silva did his thing on this one. More the defender fucked up too, but they're not as impressive at this level consistently. I need to see more from Man City in the Champions League. For being so dominant locally,
Yeah, it's the
smaller
jump.
teams than them are making a better jump over like you look at like even like Ajax and Lyon and all these guys are like I would expect
And
more.
and I think
that one good steamrolling of a good team is needed. Like of a good team, not like smash and grab or something. Like I want to see Manchester City dominate a good team in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like all big teams have that on their resume, and that's what I'm missing.
That's fair. That is totally fair, and I think it's also not to be too biased here, but like it was awesome of Pep to hear him say like, "Man, I just got to get them. I got to get them ready better for this competition. Like I've been failing at that so far, and I just like showing up, playing a team like Lyon or whatever. Like they got waxed that game, dude.
Yeah, and that's Pep's
good
arrogance in some ways kind of gets them. Like he believes that if they like, there's the two schools of coaching. One which is like I'm gonna always adjust to what you do and try to stop you also, and then the other which is if we execute my game plan to plan, then they can't stop us. And Pep has always been of the second belief. He does not change anything for his opponents. And a couple of occasions in the Champions League, like that's where the money's made, is in adjustments. Like this is next level shit. This is not getting the 3 points against Brighton and Watford and and accumulating to win. This is even Hoffenheim, like they have guys that are superstars for their national team. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is not a like.
And
Joelinton was doing his thing.
Man, it's a hacking ass dude, man. He was so physical.
Yeah. Like, you can't have it all. Like,
No,
this is how, like, when you're trying, you got a home game that against a bigger team.
Yep.
Dude, like, they played it almost to perfection.
Yeah, I will say, agreed. Absolutely. Nagelsmann had, the blueprint or whatever they needed to do to actually get a result from this game. I will say that when backed into the corner, Pep will make the adjustment. I felt like he did against Liverpool last year in the second game.
Just not a
bad.
Premier League show.
Just
we're
bad.
Talking about the Champions League performance.
I'm talking about versus Liverpool in the Champions League. The second
then
game.
they got the ass beat.
Yeah, no. He made the adjustments though. That's all I'm saying. Like,
But
I'm with you for the most part. For the most part, he does not. He runs out his team and his style. And only when like it's drastic will he try to alter that. And
to be honest, like 95% of the time it works. But like last year, everybody knew that Liverpool matched up good against how that formation that he's going to put. And
adjust.
And just got. And then they came out. I was like, oh my God, like that one was not a goal, but he gave it to them. So I argued that and got sent off. And now we're talking about his sending off, as opposed to the fact that he knew what was coming and just sat there like a sitting duck and took that loss. You know what I'm saying?
I felt like that was more the first game, but the second game he altered the lineup.
Yeah, but like he had already essentially lost the tie almost,
after the first game.
Yeah, like this has happened multiple times in his career over like even Bayern Munich in the semifinals
Real Madrid,
and
Dortmund busting their ass.
Exactly, and you need to, like I said, you need to just show yourself, man. Like they need to make a final.
Yeah.
Like they need to make a motherfucking final. And if they lose in a semifinal, it's gotta be to the winning team. Like that's how much I'm expecting from this team.
And with the at least that, and I think a couple years ago, remember we watched, I don't know about all that, but we watched City make the semifinals. Again, they played Real Madrid, and it was like they never
get going.
They never did anything. They just could. They made no. It was just like, oh well, we lost this game.
Their best performance was the group stage game against Barcelona, where Barcelona went ahead and then they came back with the Gundogan double. Mm-hmm. But who gives a fuck? Like that's not a knockout game. Like you need to have those signature moments, the Aguero moments, except in Europe.
Yep. Word up. All right, moving along. Juventus.
They fucking won, and we're giving it to them.
I know. No, I know. I think fairly.
Yeah.
Fairly.
Yeah.
It's been like that so far.
But it's going to stay in Manchester soon.
Yeah.
We'll be back, Manchester. We'll talk some more.
We'll be right back.
Yes.
Juventus had some young boys visiting, and they did not treat them well. Dybala hat trick put them to bed.
Yeah, Dybala was on it.
First
funny
goal
thing
sick.
about this, Ronaldo is sitting on the bench. Yeah, the first goal volley was nice. It was the fucking game week of volleys. Mm-hmm. But Ronaldo sitting on the bench, they took off on him, and really great result. Now, what that leaves us is Ronaldo's return date to Manchester United on a game where Manchester United, if they lose, are pretty much fucked.
Yes. I love it.
And he has 0 goals and a red card so far, so he doesn't give a fuck about Manchester United. He's trying to get his stats up again because Messi's been like fucking wowing everybody while he's been. Messi had a hat trick in the first game and 2 more and an assist.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, on it.
Mourinho, enjoy meeting Ronaldo soon.
Or reuniting with Ronaldo.
Exactly.
As mentioned before, or we did not mention, but Benfica come away with a 3-2 over AEK Athens. That's,
yeah, man. Benfica.
That's 10-men Benfica. All second half.
Yeah. Benfica is
they held
big time.
No doubt. They were up 2-0, went 2-2, and 74th minute goal by Alpha Semedo gives them the 3-2 victory. And that puts Benfica, that group stands as Ajax and Bayern with 4, Benfica with 3, AEK with 0.
Yeah.
Like we said, could be a problem for Bayern to get out of there. Benfica turn around some more points. The darlings of last Champions League day, Lyon, after waxing City 2-0, get a draw here, battle back for a draw against Shakhtar.
Yeah, because they had...
it was another good game we could have talked about.
Yeah. They went 2-0 down and they came back, and this time it wasn't Nabil Fekir carrying them, but...
This doesn't sound like a fun game. 50-50 possession, 22 shots for Lyon, 16 shots for Shakhtar. So both teams had 7 on target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We mentioned that if you don't want to watch just like necessarily big names, that it was going to be one of the fun games in the last week.
514 passes, 522 passes. So, I mean, about as even back and forth as you can get here. Fekir with the assist, 2-2.
Yeah, man. Doing the thing.
So, we mentioned CSKA. Roma, been on a tear, put 5 on Victoria Pliza.
Pleasant.
I know. I like Pliza, though.
Okay.
From Wu-Tang.
The Pliza, the Rizza, the Jizza.
Checo put this to bed kind of early.
Yeah, Checo with the hat trick, did his thing. He's been on form. That whole team looks nice.
Under.
Yeah.
Remember we were saying he wasn't playing earlier in the year.
Yeah, but like the last couple of games, he's not only played, he's done things. Like that one time where he went from his own half and just all the way. Between him and Kluivert got his opening goal too. Mm-hmm. So this was worked out swimmingly for fucking Roma.
And we return to Manchester with a super exciting 0-0 draw hosting Valencia. About as predictable as one could imagine here.
Yeah.
I mean, you would like even looking at this. I watched this game, unfortunately. 18 shots for Man United, only 4 on target, which is totally this current Manchester United
this
team.
This game can be summed up in one picture. Romelu Lukaku doing stepovers and just like kicking the ball away. Like that's symbolized the performance.
Can he go to like Didier Drogba's summer camp or something? Cause like I just need you to sit up in the box.
Nah. He needs to go to a smaller club. Like he can't be. I mean, he is at a small club, but like he's not Champions League. Anyways, it's only till January that he has to worry about it, man. He's not gonna be in the fucking Champions League after fucking December, anyways.
So you don't think they make it out of this group?
United?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're trying to make it out of this group.
I mean, they're sitting second right now. They're 3 points up on Valencia. Young boys ain't making it out, so they'll make it out of this group because I just don't think Valencia has enough.
Valencia beats Young Boys twice, then they're good.
That's true. Man United to beat them too. Get some more points.
Yeah,
but
I watched.
Could be closer than I'm thinking, but
I think that Valencia had a few opportunities, and Valencia's bench, like they go to their bench and they bring on Kevin Gamero. Mm-hmm. Like the substitute for Manchester is like Marwan Fellaini.
But no, I agreed. Actually, although he started and played this whole game. No, I know. But the announcer in this game was consistent just the whole game. Like, oh my, he's like, dude, the build up for Valencia is awesome.
Yeah.
Once they get in that final third, it is awful.
But imagine a team of Manchester's caliber, talent players sitting back. Valencia's not used to this kind of thing. Like, yeah, I get that. Like, they're trying to counter a team, and the big team is sitting back. Like, they're like, yeah, they're not. We'll take the 0-0, sure.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
That's what
Like,
I was saying.
I can't take anything away from their shit. I'm like,
And that's what I was saying on the preview section. It's just like they're like teams that are trying to do the same thing.
yeah,
In a
and
weird kind of way.
But
Like
they have Dani Parejo is like literally their one real big talent, and then they have Rodrigo in the front line, and each time either one of these guys gets the ball, they're getting hacked. So yeah,
Damn,
take
dude.
that 0-0.
they have an extremely biblical back line. Gabriel, Ezekiel, and Cristiano.
Hey, work.
Praise the Lord. We got our point. Our first point of the match of the league. So, moving along, we move on to yesterday's games, Wednesday's games, and Neymar showed why he's still like that dude, man.
Yeah,
Even though it was against it's Red Star, it's at home, but man, they put in work.
the free kicks are free kicks.
Free
They've been
kicks.
goals against anybody. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, the goalkeeper might have been about a foot closer, but it would have still been a goal. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing, and they completely dominated them. We didn't learn shit about them except that.
They can sweep aside lesser competition.
Yeah,
Which
so
is what they always do.
Waiting for them to play against Liverpool again, waiting for them to play against Napoli, which Carlo Ancelotti was like, look, we saw Liverpool, like, this is not an accident. Like, he came out after the game talking about their formation, right? He was like, we made sure they did not counter us.
Boom.
You know? And if he's planning for Liverpool like that, and Liverpool has an actual, like, effective game plan, what do you think Napoli is going to be putting out when PSG come to town?
PSG come, yeah.
You know, so
Yep.
I think that, they did their thing. They beat Red Star. Napoli, they started their season slow and they didn't beat Red Star, but it's still like, they could still fuck up.
It's an awesome group.
Yeah.
Last place in the Bundesliga, winless Schalke 04, go to Moscow and do what Real Madrid could not do. They took all 3 points, man, from Lokomotiv Moscow.
Ah, man. I think
The 88th minute goal here.
Yeah, Lokomotiv.
Man, I'm not pronouncing any of these names, bro.
What about what?
I said I'm not going.
Oh,
I'm not
the
even.
player
Gonna,
name?
I'm not even going to attempt.
Oh no. I
There's
think
so
that
many-
Lokomotiv might be
So many consonants.
along with Young Boys.
Hold up! Shout out to Solomon Kirvelia.
Yeah, sure. What's up, dude?
It's your brother, man.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
No, man. Anyway, just like I said, Schalke take all 3 points here. A game that maybe last year, a couple years ago, or I don't know, on paper looks more awesome than it actually turned out to be. Dortmund hosting Monaco. Dortmund in fine form right now.
Dortmund Gobia. Really,
Royce.
over the weekend they got behind, and Jadon Sancho and all them did it. And Jadon Sancho gave an interview afterwards saying, "I needed to work." I guess some of them call him Jadon. I don't know, but he said he wanted to be a starter, so he got a start.
He got a new contract too. Over the
And my dude got an assist. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. Is there? So with all that being said, that's twice that we mentioned him. He came on for Christian Pulisic, and I am looking at this, and I do not see Christian Pulisic injured or even in this team.
Yeah.
Is this boy about to get his time snatched?
Nah, he's been playing. It's just he played most of the weekend game, and when he got subbed, Sancho did his thing. So
Bring him back in.
Dude, this is a deep bench. Maximilian Philip, Jacob Lansard, who came in and fucking scored and assisted. Mahmoud Daoud is a good player. Julian Weigl, Rafael Guerrero. Like, it's not like. Let's put it this way. Christian Pulisic is not going to be on every squad list of this team. This is a deep team. You know? And
Yeah.
this was one of the games, and shit, they got a 3-0.
Yeah, Royce put
Nearly.
Royce put in work here. Serious work. Dortmund, all 3 points. The team that they face in the next round, I can't fucking wait. Atletico Madrid, hosting
Offense v defense.
hosting when in Bruges.
Oh, the Bruges goal in this game was spectacular.
Yeah, it was a rocket.
And Griezmann nutmegged some motherfucker, but that was more on the dude than on Griezmann for me.
Griezmann, what impressed me the most about both of his goals is his control. He basically got the ball and put the ball on the ground and then kicked it in. It was impressive. They get a 93rd minute from Koke to make it 3-1. Diego Costa also with an assist. Atletico Madrid in fine form as well.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid in fine form, and no Black in the back in really fine form behind Godin and Jimenez. Like, it's going to take something to beat that team.
Yeah, Atletico looking like a problem this year. Mentioned Tottenham Barcelona result. PSV hosting Inter, and the boy Icardi does it again here, man.
To begin with, Inter started off the game. PSV started off the game with a beautiful goal.
Another crazy goal, yep.
And then Nangolan at the end of the half hits them with a really spectacular outside the box volley. And then second half, Mauro Icardi. Like, this week's Champions League has been amazing in terms of goals. Goalkeepers.
Cardi brushed off a defender and the goalkeeper for the game winner here. They take all 3 points here. It is worth mentioning that this particular group stands as Barca and Inter on top with 6. Tottenham and PSV with 0.
How much does Spurs have?
0.
What?
None.
Huh?
Zip.
Yeah.
Mention Napoli, Liverpool, and our final match is FC Porto hosting Galatasaray. They took all 3 points with a right after halftime goal from Musa Marega.
Yes, indeed.
Word up. And
the best thing about it is, like, you play against a Turkish team, you didn't get fucked up, you're good.
Luckily to be at home there. That is, it looks to be kind of competitive, I guess. Porto, Schalke, Galatasaray, Lokomotiv. Lokomotiv have no points.
I think Lokomotiv is, I guess, again, Lokomotiv and Young Boys are the two
weakest teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Red Star Belgrade is ahead of them, I think.
No doubt. And that is the roundup. Move along to the awards. All right. We're only running a 9-man. Whatever, man. Anyway, awards, man. Dude of the week goes to.
Dude of the week, we're going to give to Neymar.
Absolutely. 2 crazy free kicks, right?
Yeah. Every time Neymar dives or every time Neymar's team loses, you spend about a half hour talking so much shit about him. This team that they played against wasn't good, but all 3 of his goals were really good, and he completely destroyed defenders on multiple occasions. Like, he completely dominated this game and showed that even though Mbappe and all these guys on that team are really good, he still is clearly the best player on that team.
7 shots on target, man. 5 key passes, big chance created, 3 goals, 7 out of 9 dribble attempts.
Preach.
Like, doing fucking work.
Yeah.
Him and Messi both receiving a 10.
3 10s.
3 10s.
Yeah, the third is
what?
Checo Johan.
That's right.
Checo.
Right. Yeah,
With
Checo
his
worked
hat-trick.
out too. Word up, Neymar. Goal of the week goes to.
Goal of
This
the
was
week
tough, man.
Was tough. To mention the contenders, either of Neymar's 2 free kicks could be a contender. The
PSV goal,
Bruges
the Club
PSV
Bruges
goal, Nangolan goal.
Cardi beast. I love that goal.
Yeah,
Just beast
also.
him. And the first Dybala goal.
You can go with that. But the winner, even though all these were spectacular, notice we did not mention any Liverpool goals. or Manchester goals. There were none. There were no goals, shots on target, actually. So
It's tough out there.
we're going to give it to Ivan.
Rakitic.
Yes.
That shit was vicious. Like, that was about, like, that was like ballet, man. Like, the way he, like, the form, he literally
Yeah, like
both feet off the
the
ground.
form of not just Ivan Rakitic, of Philip Coutinho passing it back was also just as acrobatic, over the head, behind the back, basically pass. And it was just all over. And then it goes off the post. Like, it wasn't like it scraped it. It made a 90-degree turn off the post. It was just pow.
There was zero chance. And no goalie had a chance on that, man. That was beauty.
The only chance they had was that it would go one more inch to the right and it would bounce back off the post. That was the closest thing to a save that the goalkeeper was going to do.
Nope. Man, and with that is our Champions League Game Day 2 episode. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate anyone who takes the time to listen to us. Don't forget, we're going to post on Tuesday this week because Mr. Pep Corciola has birthday activities to attend to. I'll be 21. Anyway, yeah, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit us up at Diving for Glory on Twitter, at Facebook, on Facebook, divingforglory.com. You can check us on YouTube as well. iTunes, hit us up with the 5-star rating, and that match is in the books.
Also, if you find out where Mo Salah is, please tell us. He's been missing for 4 weeks.
Amber alert. See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
Diving.
What do you think about them?
He's not a man. There's nothing more to say.
Diving.
Glory.